Hi, my name is Adam. I'm a father in Parkland, Florida, and I've made a couple of videos. Some have gone semi-viral. I've been asked to do another one on some thoughts. I'm tired of typing them, so I thought I'd make another one. If you like it, watch it. If you don't, delete it. I don't care. Um, I'm always controversial. I always look at things a different way, so I thought I'd share some opinions. Here they are. Everybody is walking around with this stupid gunfight that nobody can win. We'll get into that in a minute. But I think the main point that everybody is missing, and I hate to sound like the Matrix movie or any other movie for that matter, like Jack Nicholson in his movie, You Can't Handle the Truth, but I'm going to give it to you straight. There is a big difference between treating symptoms and treating causes. I'll say it again. Symptoms versus causes. So everybody's walking around fighting the weak fight, except for one person I know, Andrew Pollock, who's fighting the real fight. But everybody's fighting a weak fight. And they're fighting how he killed, Nick Cruz killed innocent children. How'd he do it? He did it with a gun. Who cares how he did it? Certainly not the parents. They don't care. Let me tell you, right now, as you're listening to this video, there are children dying in hospitals of cancer. And their parents are saying, why aren't they screaming out my kid's name? It's not important how somebody dies. It's important why somebody dies, and nobody's asking that why question. So I did. I said, why did this kid Nick decide to take a gun on innocent school children and teachers? And it was right in front of all of us, and it has been in front of us. Nick Cruz had friends, couple, and they stopped hanging out with him. You know why? Because he kept saying he wanted to kill people. Actually, he didn't say that. And that's why I'm trying to get to. He didn't say I want to kill people. When the cops picked him up, he didn't say I wanted to kill people. Let's face it, this is South Florida. People outside, there's easy targets everywhere. He didn't say I wanted to kill people. He didn't say I wanted to shoot people. He said I wanted to kill them. Listen to those words very carefully. I wanted to kill them. Why? Why would he want to kill them? Well, I don't know. I printed out this little speech here by a beautiful, talented girl who's definitely going to go places if she isn't already there. And everybody, including me, stood there and said, when she called BS, we all screamed BS. I call BS. Great saying, except for one thing. If you read her speech again carefully, right before she started her rant about calling BS, she said these words. People talk about, or those talking about, we should not have ostracized him. You didn't know him, we did. No, you didn't know him. That's the fact. And we didn't know him. Nobody knew him. We know him now. He's the monster that killed our children and our teachers and scared a nation. But we didn't know him. And maybe we should have. What's ostracized mean, though? Ostracized is a very fancy word for a speech that means separated, disenfranchised, disconnected, didn't love him. How about just plain old, we fucking bullied him? He lost his parents, he lost his mind, and we bullied him. And you know what? Most kids know. Most kids go home after being ostracized, and if you ostracize them bad enough, they don't grab a gun and say, I'm going to go kill all these people. They kill themselves, they hurt themselves. People with mental problems, people with just a bad day sometimes. Somebody makes a stupid, careless mistake and it goes viral on the internet and he can't handle his life anymore. I didn't say I wanted to kill people. I want to kill them. So let's just call it what it is. This fucking monster took revenge. That's the problem. That we are so cruel, so obstinate, so ostracizing that a young man decided to take revenge. He didn't take revenge on those kids. He took revenge on Parkland. He took revenge on the entire damn country. And the country is scared. And that's how you're acting, like a bunch of fucking victims. You're scared. I'm a single dad. I got 3 kids. I'm scared every minute of every day. I can't go to sleep until my kids come home. In fact, since this happened, I can't go to sleep at all. But unfortunately, this is not home of the scared. We are the home of the brave. So let me tell you why your arguments are useless. And it's pretty simple. The liberal argument to take away the guns and the Second Amendment argument to keep the guns has been going on since before we were a damn country. If you don't realize that, Just read history. It's so easy. Nobody can win that battle, and nobody should, because if the conservatives win that battle, there's going to be total tyranny. If everybody's got a gun, those with the biggest gun is going to turn around and take away the guns from everybody else, and then they'll take away your right to free speech. It's called tyranny. If the left wins the battle, well, then there's no guns, and it's anarchy. Nobody's in control. I can't understand how people don't see this, and they want to take up this battle that doesn't have to be taken up. Taking up this battle right now under these circumstances is disgusting. It's a horrible battle. It's a political battle, and a political battle is just like a divorce. In a divorce, children don't know this, so they shouldn't even be part of this battle. But in a divorce, the only one who makes money is the divorce lawyers. And in this particular fight, your divorce lawyers are called Congress and the NRA and all that. They were fine before. They don't need this fucking battle. And you people on both sides are making them billions of dollars. Billions that could be spent making our schools safer. If you don't understand what $1 billion is, let me explain it to you quickly. If I give you $1 million and I say spend $1,000 a day and don't come back until it's gone, you'll be back in 2.5 years dead broke. If I give you $1 billion, you're not coming back for 2,500 years and you are making them billions. You think that this rising tide of holding on to your gun will drown out all these First Amendment liberals, and you liberals think that this rising tide of you screaming will drown out all the gun holders. If you think that you can drown out somebody by screaming at them, take a look at recent past. The more you scream, the easier it was for Trump to be elected. In fact, that's why he got elected. Screaming doesn't work, and rising tides don't work. You have to lower the tide. A rising tide raises all ships. Do you understand that? If you rise the tide, you don't just take care of your Navy, you take care of their Navy. All ships go higher. And in this particular case, your liberal argument to take away the guns has made a guy that doesn't even own a gun like me want to join the NRA. That's how bad your argument is. The fact of the matter is, I'll stumble a little bit. I don't make videos for a living, and I don't edit videos. The fact of the matter is that you're rising their tide so high that they're building a fucking Navy. And instead of battleships, they're building memberships. I saw this poster with Emma on it that, let me say Ms. Gonzalez, because I won't be disrespectful. She's a beautiful, talented, well-spoken person. When she gets out of college and decides to stay in politics, I'll be the first one to vote for her. But she needs the knowledge first. So the poster said, look at her. This is the nightmare. This is the NRA's nightmare. No, it's not. You're their dream come true. They have millions of marketing dollars and millions of dollars into lawyers, and you're giving them the reason to use it. You can't even buy an AR-15. No sense banning them. They've all been bought because of you. That's what you're doing. If you don't see it, you're blind. The fact of the matter is that the left wing and the right wing are part of the same bird. And these children don't belong playing with these birds. They belong in school reading books and learning arguments. If you have no argument for why an American citizen might need an AR-15, let me just hand this to you. First thing you got to know is this. We're Americans, but we don't live in America. Parkland's not America. New York City's not America. It's fantasy land. Americans live out west. We live close to Americans. If you're in California, Americans live out east. We live close to America, and when we get pissed off, we can get to America and calm down with all the pretty trees and all the grass and the mountains and the big and the beautiful. You can't get those Americans to come to live in your town. They don't want any part of your bullshit, tweeting, Instagram, Facebook ass. They don't want us. We're a fucking nightmare. Where's the compassion? Where's the love? Where's the community? Yeah, we have some community now. Some. Because we're missing children. But the fact of the matter is that most of the time we care more about pocketbooks and Rolexes than we do about education and making schools safe. And now you want to take up the gun battle and you want to keep it going because it's making billions of dollars for them that we should be spending on our schools, getting guidance counselors, to sit down for divorce groups and kids that have been ostracized. I can't even speak. I'm so aggravated. And I'm trying to stay calm. Look, in my town alone, they're doing it again. If you tweet on the right side of things, or the left side, I guess, you get a special little blue flag. If you don't get it. That's ostracizing. And you're making kids with a valid argument feel disconnected from the majority of you fucking lemmings. If you don't know what a lemming is, it's like a little rodent that goes on, that overpopulates. There's millions of them, and out of nowhere, one of them decides to jump off a mountain, and the rest just follow. That's what you sound like to me. So if you want an argument for why somebody would need, an American citizen would need an assault rifle, as you call it, or an AR-15, as a real person would call it, I'll give it to you. It's easy. In Parkland, I don't need an AR-15. I may want one. I may have the right to have it, but I certainly don't need it. But if I own a ranch in Montana or Kentucky or Nebraska or in America, I own this big ranch and it's thousands of acres next to 40 other ranches that have thousands of acres. And you announce to the world, I got 200 workers on this thing and my daughters, and it feeds my family, feeds my town, and fucking feeds Parkland even. And you announce to the world that I have no serious weapons. Well, guess what? The bad guys are going there first, because there isn't a cop for 4 hours away. These are Americans. They take care of themselves like Americans. They don't make it somebody else's problem. Whatever it is, they just do it. And not even the bad guy. I got 45,000 head of cattle on a ranch. A bunch of wolves are attacking my cattle in the middle of the night. You think I'll need more than a fucking pea shooter to make sure that I can feed my family? What is this bullshit that you think your rights have anything to do with the rights of an American? They're your needs and your wants. There is a difference between a right and a want. A right cannot be taken away by the President of the United States. I don't care if everybody marches on it. You still cannot take it away because it is inalienable. The Constitution doesn't give these people the rights to defend themselves from foreign and domestic enemies. They had the right. The Constitution protects the right. You don't have the right to free speech because the Constitution gives you the right. You have the right because the Constitution protects the right. You already had it. That's our basic principles of the Bill of Rights. And all of them work together. You take away one or infringe one, you start infringing the others. How easy is this? Meanwhile, while we're fighting back and forth about a fight that cannot be won, that's making other people billions of dollars, the schools aren't any safer. They're not safer because there's no guidance counselors. There's no sense of community value. This kid's 110 pounds. That kid's weird. Fuck that kid. Fuck this kid. Oh, let's go after this kid. Oh, he made a mistake and I caught it on camera. So let's put it on the internet forever and ever. If you think the things that you're doing, putting on the internet, just like this video, is just for now, you're wrong. I can look up George Washington on the internet. It's going to stay as long as there is an internet. So before you embarrass a kid or bully a kid and put his ass on the internet, and do something, understand you're doing that forever. So shame, shame, shame on you. And I call BS right now because kids make mistakes. That's the fact. And people are making billions of dollars off our mistakes. Just look at Facebook. The funniest thing on Facebook is watching somebody else's mistakes. It's all BS, and that's why our schools aren't safe. So while Andrew is doing such a noble fight, he lost the most precious thing. My daughter was there, and I was very lucky. I thank God. If you don't believe in God, let your daughter live through that. You'll believe in God in 2 seconds and be very thankful. But Andrew's fighting for safer schools, and every time they try and seduce him into some other bullshit political fight, he says, shut the fuck up. He doesn't say it like that. He has to be polite. I don't. I'm not on national TV. And he says, no. I don't want to fight for your guns. That's somebody else's fight, or fight for it later. Let's just do the simple thing and make our schools safer. And what I say is, you go, Andrew. You stay on target and you get this done because it's more important than any fight we have. But more importantly than that fight is how to keep them safe. And they will not be safe as long as we turn children into maniacs and exploit them, and another child wants to kill somebody else. So if we don't start teaching people the value of life, there will be killers. And maybe they won't have an AR-15 next time. Maybe they'll have a pipe bomb. Maybe they'll have something. But somebody who wants to kill will kill. And you know what? To the parents, it's just as tragic if a kid quietly kills himself has 17 other kids. Right now, in New York, in hospitals around the world, there are kids dying of cancer. Why aren't you screaming out those kids' names? I know the parents want you to. It doesn't matter how a kid dies. It matters why a kid dies. So stop ostracizing and start being Americans. You know, it's so fucking stupid. Kids walking out of classrooms because a biology teacher says there's a difference between there's a man and a woman, and you want to deny biology? You want to identify with anything you want to identify with? Well, if you have that right, this fucking animal, Nick Cruz, identified as a monster, and he was monstrous. And now you want to glorify him. You think that your marches are changing the world. They're not. You want to hear controversy? I'll give you controversy. If I hand a gun to Nick Cruz and send him to the enemy and say, here, Nick, kill these 20 people, and magically every school is going to be safer, and he does it, he'd be the hero. He did it to us. He didn't go to the enemy because we were his enemy. That's what you're doing. You're saying as a First Amendment person that the Second Amendment person is a murderer and your enemy. He's not. He's your neighbor. Loved him for taking up your Second Amendment right. You're holding a gun and chewing out a bunch of people who are fighting for the First Amendment and calling them your enemy. They're not. Birds of a feather stick together. You all are the same. You're all amendment fighters and constitutional fighters, and it's brave and noble. But if you want to be brave and noble, be really fucking brave. Be brave enough to put down that damn gunfight. And be brave enough to put down your gun if you're on the other side. And start finding people that need your damn help. And find a way to help them. Listen to anybody can buy a cup of coffee for their friend. It takes somebody to sit with somebody you don't like and understand what they have to say and why you don't like them. And maybe give them a point of your view and take some of their points and find value in them. If you don't find value in this, great. If you don't like this, terrific. You don't have to like it. But I'm sure I said something that kind of makes sense. So instead of hating me for it, consider it. And if there is no value, there's no value. And if I sit with people all the time, look at my page. People that bash me the hardest become my best friends. Because I'm not going to engage in that bullshit. I'm going to value an opinion and learn from it. Not ostracize them. I don't know why I make videos, and I don't know who's watching, and I don't know who cares. But I do know that this was an act of revenge, and it will happen again as long as children feel revenge instead of love. That it's more important what their parents leave to them than what their parents leave in them. That guns are somehow powerful and scary when it's knowledge that is powerful and scary. You can stop a gun. You can't stop an idea. So here's the idea. Let Andrew keep fighting for his brilliant cause. Don't distract him. Let him make the left side, the right side, the middle, let him make every school safer. And once he does, let's make the kids understand that it will only stay safe if they start valuing each other and value their own life. Because if they don't value their own life, they cannot value another. And value the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and the Fifth Amendment and the 10th Amendment. Because if you cannot value your own rights, you cannot value another's rights. And if you can't value another's rights, you don't value your own. Start getting back to knowledge. We have all this fucking technology. It's like we would go back into the past and say, oh my God, I have this wonderful machine that can give me the entire Library of Congress and every book ever written at my fingertips. And I use it to show pictures of my fucking cats. This is absurd. Use it for the knowledge it was meant for. Get the fuck rid of it because it's destroying the country and you know it. It's divisive. It makes everybody ostracize everybody. So here's what I say. You don't like my video? I want your opinions. And I welcome them. You like my video? Great, thank you. But stop ostracizing. We are all indivisible. Remember? Indivisible. Together. United. We are the United States of America. We're that way because millions of people died to give us every one of those rights. Stop trying to take rights away from people. We are not. When you are a victim and you scream that you're scared of guns, I'm sorry to tell you this. We are not the home of the scared. We are the home of the brave, and start acting that way. Be brave. Put down your fight. Put down your gun. Start hugging each other. Start loving each other. In every damn town, find that little kid that's disenfranchised, that's disconnected, and stop him from hurting himself. And if you stop them all, you're dealing with the wise now. If you stop them all, you by chance stop the one that decides to take revenge on the guy that made him feel that way. Anyway, this is my 4th video. If it's too controversial, it'll be my last. If you want more, please let me know. Like my page, let me know, write me a letter. I got other thoughts. If you don't want to hear them, thank you. I can go back to my day job. Thank you again. Bye.